Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 597 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I'm Heidi, and I am so glad you're here. Just to give you a little bit of information about me, I'm a trained interior designer, and I'm also a certified life coach. And this podcast, it's a passion project. It's created out of a deep desire to make the world a more beautiful place, which starts with each one of us on the inside. How we think and how we act matters not only in our own life, but our entire network, which extends to places we may never know about, but it expands nonetheless. So I'm glad you're here because together we can send really good, inspiring things into the world. I heard someone ask the question once that if what you think and what you do expanded tenfold, would it make the world a better place? And I've never forgotten that question because we influence those around us and they in turn influence those around them, and it goes on and on. So what are you putting out into the world? It's a wonderful question to ponder. I strive to be the best that I can be because that's how we really affect change. If you want to change the world, you got to start with the reflection in the mirror. That's the biggest change you can make, and then it expands from there. So this last week, my mom sent me a text. It was kind of out of the blue. And at first I didn't understand. It was kind of confusing. But then she sent another text right after the first one, which explained everything. So the first text said this. It said, "What have you done with my daughter? There's a strange girl living in the house right next to me." I was like, what? What in the world? Confusing, right? But then the second text said, "She's given up Sprite, she's walking in her driveway, and she's cutting back on sugar." And now I understood what she meant. So my big sister, who lives right across the street, right just adjacent to my parents, but she's making these small changes that if she continues to make them will change the entire trajectory of her life. Now, as much as I would like to take credit for that, she's doing that all on her own. Now, since her husband died, she has spent a lot more time with me and Eric, my husband. We all just spent an entire weekend together in Chicago. It was so wonderful. So I know that that has an effect because she sees the choices that we make, and I know it encourages her to at least consider her own choices, because that's how it works, right? When you see someone doing something, you're like, oh, well, wonder if that'll work for me too. But we don't get credit for what she's doing because she's the one doing it. I didn't do anything. But spending time around people who have really good habits rubs off. Now, total transparency, it can rub off the other way too. When I spend a lot of time with my big sister and my parents, I notice when I get back home, I sort of have to wean myself back into all my good habits because my mom usually makes cookies or we go out and eat pizza. And those are not things I want to make a habit because that's a trajectory change for me too. So I let myself partake a bit, but I work to get back to my regular good eating and exercise habits as soon as I can. And that's not without a little bit of pain. So I have to ignore the desire to stop and get something sweet because my body is craving it. Once I ignore it a couple times though, I get right back to my normal routine and feel so much better when I do. A couple desserts on vacation doesn't have to mean a complete derail of your good habits, but it can if you're not careful. I remember Eric and I had been on a cruise. It's like a long one, maybe 12 days. And there's food everywhere on cruises. And they're food for days, all day long. 100% of the time you could go get whatever you want. And it's wonderfully delicious. It's very easy to partake, which we did. Well, once we got back, we noticed that we would be at lunch. And all of a sudden we're kind of noticing the desserts and wanting to eat them at lunch. That is not a habit we can pick up if we want to be happy, healthy, and fit. So we just say no, even though we want it. But eventually, after a little pain of craving without answering it, then the craving gets quieter and quieter until it's not a problem at all. See, a little bit of discipline goes a long way in the trajectory of your life. You don't have to be 100% disciplined all the time. You just have to know what your good habits are and always know and make those good habits. Make sure that those good habits are your norm. It's okay to veer a bit, but get right back on the trajectory that leads to a happy, healthy you. We all want that. I mean, think about it. Have you ever done a run and then you go back and you look at your phone and you kind of see what path you took? You can see the ultimate goal is that endpoint, but also maybe you took a side street to add a little mileage or to see the new house that was being built. But then you got right back on your path and you can see that it looks like a little blip, but it didn't affect the trajectory that you were on your original path. You know, that's how we have to think about the times that we mess up. I say mess up because that's what my brains tell me. My brain tells me I do when I spend a week in Chicago eating cookie dough and drinking martinis. I'm not coming home and continuing that, even though I want to at first. I'm going to go right back to my good habits because that's the trajectory I choose. I choose to be healthy mentally and physically, and I can't do that eating cookie dough and drinking martinis every day. I might do a little blip, a little side jaunt to have that, but then I'm right back to my regular, good, normal habits. It's not possible for me to do the bad, like the cookie dough and the drinking martinis every day and feel good. So when I come back home, I may go through a day or two of longing and withdrawals, and then those cravings go quiet. And I feel amazing again with my normal healthy routine. See, it's really all about habit patterns. We can sidetrack a bit, but sidetrack too much and you're now on a different trajectory for your life. And that's not the ending you want, maybe. My big sister told me she wanted to make all those changes because she saw how difficult it was for my aunt to get around. And that's not how she wants to be when she gets older. She felt like her old trajectory of no exercise and lots of sugar wasn't working for her anymore. So she changed it. And if these new healthy habits become her norm, her whole life is going to change for the better. And we all want to live a life that feels amazing. And our habits will dictate that more than anything else we do. Not our blips, our habits. Maybe you're on an extended blip right now and you want to get back to your normal, healthy, good habits. There's only one person that can do it. And it may be a little uncomfortable at first, but that doesn't last long. The energy and empowerment and happiness you feel from picking right back up on your good habits is worth that little bit of discomfort. And there are things you can do to make it easier for yourself. Like for me, I do not ever keep sugar in the house. It's too tempting. And for my husband, if we've been on vacation and he comes home wanting that little nightly glass of wine or two, he keeps the free, it's FRE, non-alcohol wine in the wine fridge. And that's what he drinks to replace that glass of wine he wants. And eventually, it's just not a problem. Living a wildly successful, fulfilling life doesn't mean you have to be 100% disciplined at all times. It means a majority of the time you have good, clean, healthy habits. And when you veer off, you get right back on that path. Even though it might feel a little uncomfortable for a minute, I like to say you gotta pay to play. And when I eat sugar, my body starts wanting sugar until I ignore the craving and it goes quiet. And it works every single time. The goal is excellence, not perfection. So what does excellence mean to you? Is there an area where your trajectory is taking you somewhere that isn't going to end well for you? Maybe consider it a blip. Maybe it's an extended blip. Doesn't matter. Meet yourself where you are, but love yourself enough to change that trajectory. In all honesty, you already know what needs to be done. So be like Mike and just do it. Share this with someone whose trajectory might need a small shift. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.